Welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint podcast. Today, we're going deep on Lear Capital,
Lear Capital.
a company that's you know, really making waves in the precious metals and gold IRA world.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you think about diversifying your retirement portfolio,
Right.
precious metals, they often come up as that safe haven asset. So if
Yeah.
you've ever considered adding a little gold to the mix, this deep dive is definitely for you.
Absolutely.
Now, before we jump in, I do want to remind everyone that due diligence is always key. We've created a free checklist to help you guys compare different gold IRA companies and make the best choice for your golden years. So head over to goldirablueprint.com/exclusive to grab yours. All right, let's unpack what Lear Capital brings to the table.
Yep.
What can you actually invest in with them?
So Lear Capital, what's interesting is they offer a variety of options.
Variety of options.
You have the classic precious metals IRA, which is where you're holding physical gold and silver or other precious metals within a retirement account. But they also offer bullion coins, which are great for investors who really prioritize liquidity.
Yeah.
And then for those with a collector's spirit, they have what are called numismatic coins.
Numismatic coins.
Which are these rare pieces that are historically significant.
It's like holding a piece of history.
Exactly.
It goes beyond just the financial
Absolutely.
stuff.
And let's not forget, they offer silver and platinum as well.
Oh, so they really do cover the gamut.
Absolutely.
So it seems like they cater to a wide range of investors, from those focused purely on, financial security to those who appreciate, the tangible
Yes.
and historical value of precious metals. But let's get down to the benefits.
Yeah.
Why would someone choose Lear Capital?
So one major reason is portfolio diversification.
Portfolio diversification.
So this is adding precious metals like gold
Uh-huh.
to your portfolio. It's a time-tested strategy for spreading risk.
Right.
And especially with all the economic uncertainty we've been seeing lately, a lot of folks are looking for assets that tend to hold their value
Yeah.
during, these turbulent times.
Can you give us some concrete examples of how gold has performed
Yeah,
in past crises?
sure. So during the 2008 financial crisis,
Okay.
when many investments plummeted,
Yeah.
gold prices actually rose over 25%.
Wow.
And if we zoom out further, data from the World Gold Council shows that gold prices rose
Okay.
from around $300 an ounce
Okay.
in 2001 to over $1,800 in 2021.
That's significant. So while past performance obviously doesn't guarantee future results,
Right.
it does paint a pretty compelling picture of gold's potential as a hedge against economic downturns.
Absolutely. And especially for those who are, planning for retirement.
Yeah.
That potential stability can offer, invaluable peace of mind.
Speaking of peace of mind,
Yes.
many people worry about the security of physical precious metals.
Right.
How does Lear Capital address that concern?
So they've partnered with a highly reputable Delaware Depository for Storage.
Oh, okay.
This facility is known for its stringent security measures. We're talking like Class 3 vaults,
Wow.
which are virtually impenetrable.
Okay.
247 armed guards.
So it's not like my gold is sitting in some,
Huh.
flimsy safe deposit box.
Oh, no.
We're talking Fort Knox levels of
Exactly.
security here.
Yeah, and to add another layer of protection, they also have comprehensive insurance coverage in case of,
Uh-huh.
any unforeseen events.
That's reassuring to know.
Uh-huh.
Now, let's be realistic for a moment. Every investment has its risks.
Right.
What are some potential downsides to going with Lear Capital?
So, yeah, you're absolutely right. One thing to remember is that the precious metals market, like
Yeah.
any market, it can be volatile. Prices fluctuate,
Yeah.
and there's no guaranteed return.
Right.
You could potentially lose money, just like any investment.
Yeah, no investment is a sure thing. So before jumping into anything, it's super important to assess your risk tolerance and financial goals.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, there are fees,
Right.
which is a reality with any financial product. Lear Capital charges fees for their services, and those need to be, factored into your decision.
Right. Transparency is key.
Yeah.
And, make sure you understand
Sure.
all the associated costs
Right.
before you make a commitment.
It's all about weighing the potential benefits against the costs.
Exactly.
And speaking of transparency,
Yes.
what's the real scoop on Lear Capital?
Yeah.
What are customers saying about their experiences?
So we took a deep dive into the customer reviews.
Okay.
And there's a mix of feedback.
Sure.
But on the positive side, they consistently get high praise for their customer service.
Okay.
People describe their staff as knowledgeable, friendly, incredibly helpful.
So they really excel at hand-holding clients through what can be a complex and intimidating process.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that personal touch
Yeah.
can be invaluable.
Especially if you're new to precious metals investing.
Ex-
However, there are some criticisms as well.
Right.
Some customers mentioned that fees were higher than expected,
Yeah.
or they experienced some delays in transactions.
Right. So just like any company, there are some areas for potential improvement.
So it seems like there are always areas where Lear Capital could potentially improve, but overall the positive reviews far outweigh the negative ones,
Right.
which suggests they're doing a lot of things right. But let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
Is Lear Capital a reputable company? What does the evidence suggest?
So they've been operating for over 2 decades,
Okay.
and they've built a solid reputation in the industry. Additionally, they're accredited by the Better Business Bureau with an A+ rating.
Wow. The BBB has very strict standards.
Absolutely.
So that accreditation definitely carries weight.
Yeah. And they also partner with established institutions like the Delaware Depository,
Right.
which we've talked about.
Right. And they're renowned for their security. So that's another point in their favor. It seems they've taken the steps to ensure that their clients' investments are well protected. Now, speaking of which, don't forget to grab our free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. It's specifically designed to help you compare Lear Capital with other top companies and make an informed choice for your retirement savings. Now let's move beyond the basics and delve a little deeper into the specific types of precious metals they offer. It's not just about gold, right?
Right. So they have an impressive selection of silver products as well,
Okay.
including popular options like silver coins and bars.
And I understand that silver is often seen as a more affordable entry point
Yes.
into the precious metals market
Right.
compared to gold, making it appealing for those just starting out
Yeah.
or working with a limited budget.
That's a great point. Silver's lower price point can make it,
Yeah.
a really good option for people who are just dipping their toes in.
Right.
And it's worth noting that silver has industrial applications as well,
Uh-huh.
which adds another layer of complexity
Okay.
to its price dynamics.
So when investing in silver, there are factors beyond just market speculation to consider.
Exactly. It's a very multifaceted market with its own characteristics.
Can you tell us more about the specific silver coins and bars offered by Lear Capital?
Sure. So they offer a variety of popular bullion coins,
Oh.
like American silver eagles,
Okay.
Canadian maple leafs,
Uh-huh.
British Britannias,
Wow.
and these are all highly recognizable, easily traded.
They sound like the blue chip stocks
Yes.
of the silver world.
That's a great analogy. They're the well-established,
Yeah.
reliable options.
With wide recognition.
Exactly.
What about silver bars? Are those purely for investment or do they have other uses?
So silver bars are primarily investment vehicles,
Okay.
although they can be used for bartering or trading in, certain situations.
Okay.
They come in various sizes, from small 1-ounce bars to larger, like 100-ounce bars.
Wow.
So it offers, a lot of flexibility.
So whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out,
Right.
Lear Capital seems to offer options to suit, different needs and budgets.
Absolutely. They can guide you through the options and help you choose
Yeah.
what aligns best.
Now, we've talked about gold and silver, but what about the other precious metals? Do they offer platinum and palladium?
They do.
Okay.
While, gold and silver tend to be the most popular choices,
Yeah.
platinum and palladium also have a place in a diversified
Yeah.
precious metals portfolio.
So what sets platinum and palladium apart from gold and silver?
So both of these are considered noble metals,
Okay.
known for their durability, their resistance to corrosion. They have diverse industrial applications,
Okay.
particularly in the automotive industry,
Yeah.
which directly influences
Okay.
their prices.
So the value goes beyond just investment. They have practical applications
Yeah.
in the real world.
And that's,
Yeah.
a crucial factor to consider.
When assessing their investment potential.
Exactly.
Because their prices are driven by both, market demand and industrial supply and demand.
Absolutely.
So that adds another layer of complexity to their price movements.
It does. It makes them intriguing,
Yeah.
but also potentially more volatile.
Now, for those looking to move funds from a traditional IRA or 401k into a precious metals IRA,
Right.
Lear Capital offers that IRA rollover process.
Uh-huh.
Now, this can seem like a daunting step for some, but they aim to make it as straightforward as possible. Can you walk us through how it works?
So the first step is to reach out to Lear Capital.
Okay.
Connect with one of their account executives.
Okay.
They will gather some basic information about your retirement savings and guide you through the necessary paperwork.
So they really hold your hand through each step.
That's the goal, to make it as easy and stress-free as possible.
Okay.
The next step involves initiating the transfer of funds from your existing retirement account to your new self-directed IRA,
Okay.
which is specifically designed to allow investments in precious metals.
So this self-directed IRA acts as the gateway to investing in precious metals within a retirement account.
Precisely. Once those funds are securely in your self-directed IRA,
Yeah.
then you can collaborate with Lear Capital
Okay.
to select the specific precious metals you want to purchase.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. You have a say in how your retirement savings are allocated.
Exactly. And that's one of the key benefits of working with a company like Lear Capital. They provide the expertise and the guidance,
Right.
but ultimately you're the one in control.
And once you purchased your precious metals, they are then stored in those secure facilities.
Yes.
At the Delaware Depository.
Yes. So you don't have to worry about,
Right.
finding a secure storage solution yourself.
That definitely takes a load off my mind.
Hmm.
But are there any potential downsides or risks associated with this IRA rollover process that we should be aware of?
So there can be tax implications associated with an IRA rollover.
Right.
So it's always essential to consult with a tax professional to
Yeah.
make sure you fully understand.
When it comes to taxes, it's always better to be safe than sorry.
Absolutely. Another point to consider is that there might be fees
Okay.
associated with the rollover process itself.
Okay.
And these can vary
Okay.
depending on your current custodian
Gotcha.
and the details of your retirement account.
So transparency is key, both in terms of fees and tax implications. It's crucial to get a clear picture of all costs involved before proceeding.
Precisely. A reputable company like Lear Capital should be very open and upfront
Yeah.
about all costs involved.
Okay. We've talked about the mechanics of investing with Lear Capital.
Right.
But let's zoom out for a moment and consider the broader economic landscape.
Okay.
What are some of the key factors
Yeah.
that could influence the price of gold and other precious metals?
That's an excellent point. It's really important to make investment decisions within the context of the overall economic climate. So, inflation is a major driver.
Okay.
When inflation is high, the purchasing power of the dollar declines, and investors often turn to hard assets like gold.
As a hedge.
As a hedge, exactly.
So gold is seen as a safe haven
Yes.
during times of economic uncertainty.
Right, sort of a crisis commodity, as some call it.
Yeah, it's not a new phenomenon.
Yeah.
I mean, history has shown time and again that during times of crisis,
Yes.
gold often performs well,
Right.
while other asset classes struggle.
What about interest rates?
Okay.
How do those impact the precious metals market?
So generally, there's an inverse relationship
Okay.
between interest rates and gold prices.
Gotcha.
When interest rates rise,
Yeah.
holding gold becomes less attractive because it doesn't generate interest income.
So it's this balancing act between, the potential for growth in the precious metals market and the potential for return from interest-bearing investments. Exactly. It's all about, carefully considering
Yeah.
your investment goals and the prevailing economic
And
conditions.
let's not forget about geopolitical risks.
Oh, of course.
I mean, those can have a significant impact
Huge.
on investor
It's
sentiment.
global events.
Yeah?
Like wars.
Wars, political instability.
Political instability, trade tensions, all these things can create uncertainty and drive investors.
Towards safe haven assets like gold.
Exactly. It's that classic flight to safety phenomenon.
When the world feels shaky, gold shines. And finally, we can't forget about the US dollar. How does its strength or weakness affect gold prices?
Right. So since gold is priced in U.S. dollars, a weakening dollar means it takes more dollars to buy an ounce of gold, which can lead to higher gold prices.
So a weak dollar can be a tailwind for gold, while a strong dollar
Exactly.
can act as a headwind.
It's a complex relationship,
Yeah.
but that's a good rule of thumb to keep in mind.
Now, one concern that often comes up regarding precious metals is liquidity. People wonder, how easy is it to convert my gold or silver back into cash when I need it?
When you need it.
What's the reality of the situation?
So it really depends on what type of precious metals you hold
Okay.
and how you choose to sell them. So bullion coins
Mm-hmm.
and bars
Okay.
are generally quite liquid
Yeah.
due to their standardized nature and ease of trading. You can sell them to dealers, pawn shops, or even online marketplaces.
So you're not stuck with them if you need quick access to funds.
Exactly. Numismatic coins, however, can be
Okay.
a little less liquid
Okay.
because their value is tied to their rarity and collectability. So finding a buyer
Yeah.
who's willing to pay a fair price might take longer.
So it's a trade-off then, potentially higher returns with numismatic coins,
Yeah.
but potentially less liquidity.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about a crucial aspect of choosing any investment company,
Yes.
and that's fees and pricing.
Yeah.
How does Lear Capital stack up in this department?
So fees can significantly impact your returns.
Right.
So it's super important to understand what you're paying for
Yeah.
and compare costs.
Across different providers.
There's different providers, exactly. So with Lear Capital, there's typically a markup
Uh-huh.
on the spot price of the metal.
Okay.
And this markup covers, their cost of acquiring and handling
Yeah.
the metals.
So you're essentially paying a premium for the convenience and expertise that they provide,
Exactly.
along with their due diligence
Of course.
in sourcing high-quality, authentic metals. And even though your metals are held
Yes.
at the secured Delaware depository,
Yes.
there are still annual storage fees
Right.
to cover, the costs of secure storage and insurance.
Exactly. That makes sense.
So it's important to factor these ongoing costs into your overall investment calculations.
Absolutely.
Are there any other fees to be aware of, such as transaction fees or account maintenance fees?
That's a great question. Yeah.
So the best approach is to directly ask Lear Capital
Okay.
about their complete fee structure.
And make sure you fully understand all those costs before making any commitment.
Mm.
They should be very transparent
Yes.
about their pricing
Absolutely.
and willing to answer. They should. Any questions
Yeah,
you might have.
for sure.
Now, beyond the financial and logistical aspects, let's talk about maybe the more emotional side of investing in precious metals.
Okay.
How can they provide peace of mind and a sense of security?
So that's an interesting aspect that's often overlooked.
Yeah.
But for many people, gold and silver,
Uh-huh.
they represent these tangible assets
Right.
that have held value for centuries.
It's like having a safety net,
Yes.
a backup plan if things go wrong.
Right, exactly. They can act as a hedge against inflation, economic turmoil, even political instability.
So they offer a sense of control and self-reliance in a world that can often feel chaotic
Yes.
and unpredictable. And for many people, that peace of mind is priceless. It allows them to sleep better at night, knowing that a portion of their wealth is diversified
Right.
into assets that are, less susceptible to the whims
Right.
of the stock market or the banking system.
Now, let's talk about another crucial factor.
Okay.
When choosing a company to manage your investments,
Yeah,
and that's customer service.
right.
How does Lear Capital measure up in this regard?
So customer service can really be a make or break factor
Yeah.
when you're dealing with something as important as your retirement savings.
Right.
You want to know you're working with a company that values its customers and provides excellent support.
Absolutely.
And in that area, Lear Capital seems to consistently receive positive feedback.
Okay.
Their staff is frequently praised for being knowledgeable,
Uh-huh.
friendly.
And patient, particularly when it comes to answering questions
Yes.
thoroughly and making those complex topics easier to understand. So it sounds like they prioritize building relationships with their clients.
Absolutely. And offering that personalized guidance, especially for those who may be new to this type of investing.
Absolutely. That's one of their strengths. Having that supportive hand to guide you through
Right.
a potentially complex process can really make a world of difference.
What about their responsiveness, though? In the financial world, quick and reliable communication can be so vital.
It is.
How quickly do they typically respond to inquiries or requests for assistance? So based on, the customer reviews, they seem to be quite responsive. People often mention receiving prompt and helpful responses to both emails and phone calls.
So you're not left hanging, waiting days or weeks for a reply, which can be incredibly frustrating when dealing with
Yes.
important financial matters.
Yeah.
Okay, we've highlighted many of Lear Capital's strengths,
Yeah.
but to be fair and balanced, are there any areas where their customer service could be improved?
So while the vast majority of reviews are positive, like any company, You're going to find a few,
Sure.
less than stellar experiences. And we did see, a few scattered complaints about occasional delays
Great.
in processing transactions or difficulty reaching a specific representative.
So there's always room for improvement even for a
Always.
company with a strong reputation for
Absolutely.
customer service.
Yeah.
Now, Lear Capital is also known for going above and beyond when it comes to educational resources.
Yeah.
They seem to have invested a lot in creating really informative content
Yes.
to help their clients navigate the world of precious metals investing.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about the educational materials that they offer?
Sure. So their website is a fantastic resource
Okay.
with articles, videos, and even a blog
Wow.
covering a wide range of topics related to precious metals, IRAs, and retirement planning.
So it's a great place for beginners to kind of start their learning journey
Absolutely.
and for more experienced investors to stay updated on
Yes.
market trends
For sure.
and strategies.
And they cover a lot of ground from, the basics of gold and silver to more complex topics like market trends and investment strategies.
And is their customer support team equipped to handle more complex questions about precious metals
Yes.
and IRAs?
From what we've gathered from the customer feedback, they seem to be very well versed
Okay,
in the intricacies of precious metals investing.
good.
They are known for their patience and ability to explain things clearly, even to those who are new to the market.
Okay.
So you can feel confident
Yeah.
that you're getting accurate information.
So you feel confident that you're getting accurate and reliable information when you reach out for assistance.
That seems to be their goal.
Good.
They want to empower their clients with the knowledge they need.
To make sound investment decisions.
Hmm.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today, from Lear Capital's background and services to the potential benefits and risks
Absolutely.
of investing in precious metals.
Right.
But before we move on, let's pause for a moment and address one of the key concerns that many people have about investing in precious metals:
Okay.
liquidity.
Liquidity, the age-old question.
Right.
How easy is it to turn your gold or silver back into cash when you need it?
Exactly. Some people worry that precious metals are illiquid and difficult to convert back into cash.
Right.
What's the reality of the situation?
So it depends on, like we've said before,
Yeah.
what type of precious metals you own
Oh,
and how you choose to sell them.
okay.
Bullion coins and bars are generally quite liquid
Okay.
because they're standardized, they're easily traded. You can sell them to dealers, pawn shops,
Mhm.
or even through online marketplaces.
So you're not stuck with them if you need to access your funds quickly. However, numismatic coins
Right.
can be less liquid
Yes. They can be less liquid.
because their value is based on their rarity and collectability.
Right.
So it might take longer to find a buyer
Exactly.
willing to pay a fair price. So it's a trade-off.
Exactly.
Potentially higher returns with numismatic coins, but potentially less liquidity. Now let's get down to brass tacks and talk about Lear Capital's fees and pricing. This is always a crucial consideration when choosing an investment company.
It is. Fees can significantly impact your returns,
Right.
so it's essential to understand
Yeah.
what you're paying for
Right.
and to compare costs
Across different providers.
across different providers. So with Lear Capital,
Yeah.
there's usually a markup on the spot price of the metal.
Okay.
And this markup covers, their costs
Hmm.
of acquiring and handling the metals.
So in essence, you're paying a premium for the convenience and expertise they provide, along with their due diligence
Exactly.
in sourcing high-quality,
Exactly.
authentic metals. And even though your metals are held at that highly secure Delaware depository,
Right.
there are still annual storage fees to cover the cost of security and insurance.
That makes sense.
So it's important to factor these ongoing costs
Yes.
into your overall investment calculations.
Absolutely.
Are there any other fees to be aware of, such as transaction fees or account maintenance fees?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So, the best approach is to ask Lear Capital directly
Yeah.
about their complete fee structure and make sure you fully understand.
All costs involved before making any commitment.
Yes.
They should be very transparent about their pricing and answer
Absolutely.
any questions you have. Now, beyond the financial and logistical aspects, let's talk about the more emotional side of investing in precious metals.
Okay.
How can precious metals provide that peace of mind and a sense of security?
That's an often overlooked aspect of precious metals investing.
Yeah.
But for many, gold and silver represent these
Mhm.
tangible assets
Right.
that have held value for centuries.
It's like having a safety net, a
Yes.
backup plan in case things go wrong
Right.
with the financial system.
They can act as a hedge against inflation, economic turmoil, even political instability.
So they offer a sense of control and self-reliance
Exactly.
in a world that can often feel chaotic
Yes.
and unpredictable.
And for many, that peace of mind is priceless.
Yeah.
It allows them to sleep better at night knowing that, a portion of their wealth is diversified into assets
Right.
that are less susceptible to, you know,
The whims of the market.
the whims of the market, the whims of the banking system.
Exactly. Okay, let's switch gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about Lear Capital's customer service.
Okay.
This is often a key.
Differentiator for companies in the financial services industry.
Absolutely. When you're dealing with something as important as your retirement savings,
Right.
you want to know you are working with a company that values its customers and provides that excellent support.
Exactly. And in that area, Lear Capital seems to get consistently high marks for their customer service.
Okay.
Their staff is often described as knowledgeable, friendly, and patient,
Good.
particularly when it comes to, answering questions thoroughly
Mm-hmm.
and really making those complex topics a bit easier to understand.
So it seems like they really prioritize building those relationships with their clients
Absolutely.
and offering that personalized guidance, especially for those who are new to this type of investing.
Absolutely. Having that supportive presence to guide you through what can be a very intricate process can make a world of difference
Yeah,
in building confidence and making sound decisions.
definitely. Now in the financial world, quick and reliable communication can be so vital.
Absolutely.
How responsive is Lear Capital? How quickly do they typically respond to inquiries or requests for assistance?
So based on customer reviews, they seem to be quite responsive.
Okay.
People often mention receiving, prompt and helpful responses
Okay, good.
to their emails and phone calls.
So you're not left hanging waiting days or weeks for a reply, which can be incredibly frustrating
Yes.
when you're dealing with these important financial matters. Okay, we've highlighted many of Lear Capital's strengths, but to be fair and balanced, are there any areas where their customer service could use a little improvement?
Well, while the vast majority of reviews are positive, like any company, there will always be a few,
Sure.
less than ideal experiences.
Yeah.
And we did see a few complaints about, occasional delays
Okay.
in processing transactions or difficulty reaching a specific representative.
So there's always room for improvement, even for a company that has a good reputation for their customer service.
Absolutely. And, it's how a company handles those situations that really demonstrates
Right.
their commitment to customer satisfaction.
Well said. Now, Lear Capital seems to go above and beyond when it comes to educational resources. They seem to have invested a lot in creating very informative content
They have.
to help their clients really understand
Yes.
precious metals investing.
Yeah.
Could you tell us more about the educational materials that they offer?
Sure. Their website is a fantastic resource with articles, videos, and even a blog covering a wide range of topics related to precious metals, IRAs, and retirement planning.
So it sounds like a great place for beginners to start their learning journey
Absolutely.
and for more experienced investors to stay informed
Yes.
on the latest market trends and strategies.
For sure.
Now, what about their customer support team? Are they equipped to handle more complex questions about precious metals and IRAs?
So, from what we've gathered from customer feedback, their team seems to be very well versed in the intricacies of precious metals investing.
Good.
They are often commended for their patience and their ability to explain things clearly, even to those who are, new to the market.
Yes.
So you can feel confident that you're getting accurate and reliable information
Yeah.
when you reach out for assistance.
So you can feel confident you're getting accurate and reliable information when you reach out for help.
That seems to be their goal. They want to empower their clients
That's good.
with the knowledge that they need to make those sound investment decisions.
Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked when people are considering a precious metals dealer, and that's their buyback program.
Yeah.
It's great to buy precious metals,
Right.
but what happens when you need to sell them?
That's a really important consideration, and that's where some companies fall short.
Yeah.
They might make it really difficult or costly to liquidate your holdings, but Lear Capital has a very straightforward and transparent buyback program.
Okay.
They are willing to buy back the metals that they sell at a fair market price,
Okay.
making it easy for investors to access those funds when they need to.
So you're not stuck with your precious metals if you need to access cash quickly.
Exactly. That's a key advantage of working with a company like Lear Capital. They understand the importance of liquidity
Uh-huh.
and aim to make the process as easy as possible for their clients.
How do their buyback prices compare to other dealers in the industry? Are they competitive?
From what we've gathered, their buyback prices seem to be in line with industry standards. It's always wise to compare quotes from a few dealers before making a decision.
Right.
But, Lear Capital has a good reputation for offering fair and transparent pricing.
So you can feel confident that you're getting a good deal
It seems so.
when you're selling your metals back to them.
They're focused on building long-term relationships
Right.
with their clients.
And part of